3 minutes of daily morning mobility completely eliminated the chronic back pain I simply accepted as normal at 46. 6 months ago, leaning down to tie my boots forced a loud, involuntary grunt from my chest. My wife caught the noise through the drywall and laughed out loud, which made me chuckle, but that brief amusement quickly turned into quiet panic. That specific sound echoed the exact noise my father used to make when his bodily decline began. Most guys entering middle age treat their spine like a bad knee, viewing it as just an isolated joint wearing out. That represents a fundamental misunderstanding of anatomy, because the spine serves as the chassis of your existence. When those central vertebrae freeze from decades of office work, the damage immediately radiates outward. Your shoulders pitch forward to compensate. The resulting imbalance forces your hips to stop functioning correctly. This mechanical shutdown directly determines how long you will live independently. Researchers running the famous sitting-rising test in Brazil tracked thousands of older adults over a 12-year period. Data showed that failing to sit on the floor and stand back up without using hands or knees multiplied the risk of natural death by nearly 4 times. Men who stay sharp and active into their 70s share 0 common traits regarding muscle mass or aerobic capacity. Their single shared characteristic remains raw mobility. These guys can squat down to pick up a grandchild and return to a standing posture without bracing themselves on a coffee table. Living autonomously requires fighting the slow stiffening of your joints, which meant I needed a consistent intervention. I committed to a 3-minute movement protocol every single morning before brewing coffee or checking any screens. The daily routine consists of hip hinges, spinal flexions, and a dead hang. I began with good mornings, intentionally keeping my back flat like a drawbridge while bending at the waist. Bypassing the lumbar area forced my dormant glutes and hamstrings to do the heavy lifting they naturally evolved to handle. Next came the cat-cow stretch down on all fours, arching and rounding the torso continuously. Spinal discs lack a direct blood supply. Therefore, they rely entirely on this type of active movement to pump nutrients in and flush waste materials out. Finally, I grabbed a doorway pull-up bar for a passive dead hang, letting gravity reverse the daily compression on my vertebrae. Guys without access to overhead bars can achieve a similar traction effect by pressing their palms firmly into the floor straight overhead. Week 1 felt exceptionally painful. Firing up stabilizing tissues that had slept since the late 90s caused severe soreness. Pushing through that initial discomfort led to rapid structural changes. By week 2, I completely stopped leaning my shoulder against the bedroom wall just to step into my jeans. Week 3 delivered a physiological shock I never anticipated, because my daily afternoon fatigue suddenly vanished. I previously blamed that midday drag on poor sleep, getting older, or a demanding schedule. Yet the real culprit turned out to be oxygen restriction. Whenever your thoracic region acts like a stiff board, your ribs turn into a rigid container. This stiffness prevents your lungs from expanding properly. The body compensates by taking shallow chest breaths, which traps your nervous system in a continuous state of low-grade panic. Drawing air inefficiently 20,000 times a day directly triggers a substantial adrenal crash by 4 o'clock. Loosening the muscular tension in my back allowed my ribs to finally move again. With a flexible rib cage, the diaphragm could actually drop down and function correctly. Pulling in full, deep breaths naturally shifted my nervous system out of high alert, generating a clean surplus of stamina that lasted until evening. This short habit operates as far more than just a temporary pain relief tactic. Dedicating 3 minutes to daily maintenance serves as the strict entry fee for remaining capable through your next 3 decades. Nearly every mobility problem older guys face traces directly back to abandoning their range of motion during middle age and never doing the work to reclaim it. Nobody needs to achieve perfect athletic flexibility. You just cannot allow your joints to become permanently frozen. A locked frame destroys people slowly by stealing their independence piece by piece. Tying your shoes without making a single sound is an achievable goal. You can check out the follow-up video links below for a longer, guided version of this exact routine.